Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Astin Parasale. So this video is all about ICMR JRF previous year question paper revision series. The first question is that what is the theme of World Immunization Week celebrated on 2021 year? So the theme is vaccine bring us closer. So which of the following variant is known as Delta variant of SARS-CoV-2? The name of this particular Delta variant is that lineage B.1.617.2. So likewise know the variant of Omicron variant of SARS-CoV. Next they are asking about the question with related to COVID vaccine, and they are asking which of the following is among which of the following is a mRNA based vaccine. So the answer is this Pfizer biotech vaccine. So both are German biotech based company. So they had created a messenger RNA based vaccine. So they had modified the nucleoside mRNA, and that particular mRNA is coding for a full-length spike protein. After manufacturing the thing, they had encapsulated the vaccine in a liquid nanoparticle. Next, with respect to this Russia Sputnik vaccine, it is Russia is the most trusted vaccine producer, friend. And why they had named this vaccine as a Sputnik means it was the first satellite that was given by the Soviet Union. In order to remember that particular satellite, they had named this particular thing, and they had manufactured this vaccine by a human adenovirus vector platform. Next, the Bharat Biotech vaccine is an India-based vaccine. They had produced this Covaxin. Okay, and this Bharat Biotech, they didn't manufacture the Covaxin singly. They had collaborated with this ICMR and NIV. So they had produced this Covaxin. So by using a technology called whole viron inactive virosil-based technology. Okay. Next, if you take this Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, they had manufactured Covishield vaccine, and the vector platform is adenovirus vector platform. So both this AstraZeneca and the Sputnik, they had incorporated this adenovirus vector platform to manufacture vaccine. Next, they had asked the question Nobel Prize in Medicine 2021. So you all know Nobel Prize in 2021 were awarded for 3 scientists, and the work was with respect to identification was this hepatitis C virus. Next, the instrument that record the intensity of earthquake is seismograph, whereas this barometer is used for measuring the intensity of atmospheric pressure. Dosimeter is used for measuring the intensity of radiation dose. Next is gyroscope is used for the orientation and angular velocity. Like this gyroscope is used for determination of navigation. Next, this which city is called as a golden capital of what? It is Johannesburg, which is nothing but it is present in this particular is present in South Africa. Okay, you all know South Africa is well known for gold. Okay, next. The World Health Organization has certified which country is malaria free in year 2021. Since this particular question paper is 2021, they are asking the important event that are occurring in 2021. So for this particular 2022, like if you are going to write the exam in 2022 year, you should know important event that has occurred in 2022 year. And the answer for this particular question is China. So World Health Organization has made this China as a malaria free in year 2021. Which of the following is not an antivirus software? So this Avira, Byte Defender, Panda or antivirus virus. This Oracle is not an antivirus software. It is a cloud application related software. Next, the gases used for filling electric bulb is argon and nitrogen. Next, GPS full form is global positioning system. Next, 1 light year is equal to 9.5 into 10 to the power 12 kilometer. These things we have studied in 6th standard physics itself, friend. The scientific study of dream is called as Orenology, whereas archaeology means study of arachnids, pomology means study of fruit, this speleology means study of grape. Next, nosophobia is a fear of developing a disease. Okay. Next, the color of onion is pink due to the presence of anthocyanin. The color of carrot is due to the presence of carotene. Color of tomato is red due to the presence of lycopene. Whereas color of egg yolk, or you can take few flowers will be yellow in color, orange in color. Few fruits will be yellow in color, orange in color. The reason behind is due to the presence of xanthophyll. The gas which is used for artificial ripening of fruit is ethylene. What is the pH of human blood? pH of human blood is 7.4, whereas the pH of human urine is ranging from 4.6 to 8, and pH of this cerebrospinal fluid is 7.3. Okay, they had given flower shown in the image is a source of which of the following anti-cancer drug. So this is a Catherine roses flower, and it is from this flower vincristine is used, and it is currently used for important drug for cancer. Which of the following is the best conductor of electricity? The best conductor of electricity is seawater. Why? Seawater is enloaded with NaCl salt. Okay, on mixing with water, NaCl will be separated into sodium ion and chloride ion. Okay, so this particular separation allow them to attract the electricity. So that's how this seawater is the best conductor of electricity. So they are asking anosmia is a loss of smell, and geusia is a loss of taste. Next, According to Indian law, what is the minimum age of a person for employment in factory? It is 14 years. What is the chemical symbol of tungsten? Chemical symbol of tungsten is W, and T is a chemical symbol of titanium. What type of study is best suited for initial evaluation of rare diseases? So the study of rare diseases is called as epidemiology, and the study and in the epidemiology, case control study alone will be employed, friends. Case control study will be nothing but just like a COVID virus and all, friends. There will be a disease population and there will be a control population. Both the population will be compared and they will be producing an outcome. Whereas if you take this cohort disease and all, cohort studies and all, it is based on observation. Like they will be observing a particular cohort. Cohort means it is composed of group of people of same tribe. They will be comparing, and it is a kind of observational study like smoking and lung cancer. In order to determine smoking is a leading cause of lung cancer, means they will be having a few group of people to whom they will be having a habit of smoking, and they will be analyzing for a period of 10 to 15 years and they will be producing the outcome. Next, which of the following phase of clinical trial evaluate the safety and tolerability of drug in healthy volunteer? So phase 1 trial is employed. Next question, if the diagnostic test is 90% sensitive, what is the percentage of false negative? It is 10%, like 100 minus 19 formula you have to use. Fertilization of ovum by sperm commonly occurs in which part? So it is occur in fallopian tubule. Fallopian tubule is a part of female reproductive system where the ovum will be encountered with the sperm. Next, which one of the following is the basis of modern periodic table? It is based on atomic number. Next, carbon, diamond and graphite together is called allotrope. Next, ethyl mercaptan is added to otherwise odorless LPG cooking gas. It is added to a LPG gas, friends, and for imparting detectable smell. So there will be a detectable smell in a LPG gas, and they are asking what is the compound that is responsible for detecting this particular smell. It is due to the presence of sulfur in this particular LPG gas. Next, Operation Flood is a movement related to the product of milk. Next, Indian Standard Time refer to a local time of which city of India? It is Mirzapur near Allahabad. Next, with respect to statistical or biostatistical related problem, I am going to put a separate video, friends. You can watch that particular video. Next is with respect to life sciences related thing. They are asking, they had shown this particular thing like this particular image, and they are asking what is the image. So it is a Lowenstein-Jensen medium, friends. Actually this particular medium is used for detecting mycobacterium. The medium will be green in color, friends, whereas a mycobacterium, that the bacteria which is responsible for tuberculosis, will be a powdery in appearance. The reason for this green color of this particular Jensen medium is due to the presence of malachite green. Malachite green is added to this particular medium in order to inhibit the growth of other bacteria. So when you have time, just refer this Prescott book, just refer this diagrams alone. If the question has been asked, you should know. Whereas all the three medium will be white in color, only this Lowenstein medium will be green in color. Next is with respect to Staphylococcus food poisoning manifests within how much time after injection of contaminated food? It is 2 to 6 hours. Next, patient diagnosed with having malaria was successfully treated with the anti-malarial drug. That drug was extracted from a plant called sweet wormwood. The compound have been discovered. So for discovering this particular anti-malarial hormone, he was awarded Nobel laureate TUUU in 1972. He was awarded Nobel Prize, and they are asking what is the compound. So the compound is artemisinin. Actually this compound is a sesquiterpene lactone compound, and it is used for malarial diseases. Okay, so you should know about this particular thing, friends, and get to know it is isolated from this particular plant, Artemisinin adonis. Okay, next, organism isolated from a female patient having a urinary tract infection produce a mucormycosis, and this particular organism is oxidase negative. Then it is VP test positive and urease test positive. So the answer is Klebsiella pneumoniae. This Klebsiella pneumoniae is negative for oxidase and positive for this VP test and urease test. Next, during an outbreak of viral infection, many people have been asked us to wear N95. Do you know the abbreviation of N95? So N is for non-oil proof. Next, 95 means it prevents the 95% of very small, the size is 0.3 micron test particle. Next, which of the following is a selective estrogen receptor modulator used in treatment of estrogen dependent breast cancer? It is tamoxifen. Okay, next, aldosterone. What is the mechanism of aldosterone hormone? It increases the potassium excretion. Next, what is the role of oxytocin hormone? It will induce the labor. Next, they are asking the question with reference to Langendorf apparatus. They had given for which purpose this particular apparatus used. It is is used as an isolated heart perfusion technique. And then they are asking the following antidote poison. Antidote is nothing but in order to counteract the poison, it is anti-poison mechanism. Like that they are asking antidote and poison combination is incorrect. They are asking incorrect mechanism. The correct answer is with respect to glucose and ethyl glycol. It is an incorrection because when an ethyl glycol has been incorporated and if a person has been drinking ethyl glycol means glucose will not be employed as an antidote. Friends, he need to incorporate ethanol will be given as an antidote mechanism because ethanol will be going a competitive inhibiting ethylene glycol mechanism. Friends, so the correct option is glucose ethylene glycol is a correct option, whereas other options are correct. So study about this antidote and poison combination. If beta blocker has been given, glucagon will be given as an antidote. If a person has been given cyanide, he will be given hydroxycobalamin. If a person has been intaken fluoride, means he will be given calcium chloride. Next, which of the following is correct regarding surfactant in lung? So, surfactants are produced by type 2 pneumocyte cells. Which of the following muscle is involved in normal inspiration? The muscle involved is external intercostal muscle. Which of the following region of eye has a greatest concentration of cones? The cones are highly concentrated in your forever. Next, which of the following disease is not caused by fungus? The correct disease is melioidosis. It is caused by a bacteria, Bulgarella pseudomeliadis. Next, histone pack the DNA into a repeating array of DNA protein particle called nucleosome. So nucleosome is a DNA protein particle. So DNA is a negative charge and the protein, that is histone, consists of positively charged amino acids. So there will be a binding between negatively charged phosphate ion DNA and positively charged amino acid in histones, where they are forming a combination that is called as nucleosome. Which of the following is used to study the structural detail of biological tissue using freeze fracture technique? It is transmission electron microscopy. So it is not transmission electron microscopy. During the sample preparation, they will be using a freeze fracture technique, whereas if reference to the SEM technique and all, freeze fracture technique and all will not be used because based on the scanning process only SEM will be employed, whereas for transmission electron microscopy, it will create an image by detecting the transmitted electron. So that's the reason they are using a freeze fracture techniques. Next, pericentric inversion is a type of chromosomal mutation in which inversion of chromosomal segment will include a centromere. With reference to paracentric inversion, the segment, that is inverted chromosomal segment, will not include centromere. Next, fluorescent recovery after photobeiging is a technique which is used to study transmembrane protein. Like it is used to study membrane protein as well as cell membrane diffusion. Okay, it is not useful for study transporting ion, nuclear protein, cluster patches and reference. It is only used to study cell membrane protein and membrane protein. In order to study the living cell without staining, which type of following microorganism is used? Without staining, at the same time they are asking living cell. So in order to study cells in a living condition and also to study without staining, we need to use phase contrast microscope. Which material is used in bioplastic? It is PHA, polyhydroxy butyrate. Next, what is called as Fred stored in next generation sequencing? It is called as read quality score. What does SNP stands for? SNP stands for single nucleotide polymorphism. Compensation refers to which of the following process in relation to flow cytometry? In flow cytometry, compensation is used when there is an elimination of overlapping fluorescent signal from different fluorochrome. Next, which of the following crosses will produce two phenotype in the next generation, like F2 generation or FT generation? The test cross alone will be producing two phenotype in the next generation. Next, type of inheritance in which many trait of character are spread across a gradient and affect each allele in additive is polygenetic inheritance. So polygenetic means what? Polygene, many gene. This is a type of polygenetic trait is a trait which is influenced by many gene. Okay, all the gene will be incorporated in order to produce an additive effect. Example is your hair color, height of a person. Like we cannot able to always say person will be tall or person will be short. In between there will be a different thing will be there. So for this polygenetic inheritance, many gene, nearly 400 gene will be responsible for producing particular trait. Next, both allele express themselves equally in F1 generation. In all the things like sickle cell anemia, AB blood group, roe and cattle and all both the allele like dominant allele and recessive allele will be expressed equally. Whereas in this particular antigen, which is also called a snapdragon plant alone, it will not be expressed then equally, because if you take that particular plant in this particular plant alone, it will not be because this particular plant it's following an incomplete dominance. Okay, which means if a red color flower of snapdragon and white color flower of snapdragon has been combined, it will be forming a pink color. So this particular thing is following a incomplete dominance mechanism. So all the rest are forming a complete dominance. Okay, if you take ABO blood group and all, they follow a codominance. Okay, next thing, gene for starch synthesis in pea plant is functionally connected with the shape of sheep. Next, when a diploid female plant is crossed with a tetraploid male, the ploidy of endosperm cell in a resulting, they are asking the ploidy of endosperm cell alone, they are asking. See, if you take the diploid female, it will be consist of 2 polar nuclei, each polar nuclei will be haploid condition. So female is giving 2n. Next, if you take tetraploid male, when a male is a tetraploid condition means the gamete after meiosis will become diploid. So 2n from a diploid female and 2n from a tetraploid female will be combining to form a tetraploid endosperm cells. Okay, so endosperm means nothing but they are formed by a fusion of 2 polar nuclei and 1 male gamete. So here we are taking only 1 male gamete. So answer is tetraploid. Next, out of several contrasting pair of characters study my mental in pea plant, how many had a color based contrasting trait? Okay, so it is 3: color of seed, color of pod, color of flower. Color of seed yellow or green, color of pod yellow or green, color of flower whether violet or white in color. Which of the following is called Sewell-Wright effect? It is genetic drift. Next, a 5-year-old female patient was brought to OPD by her mother with the chief complaints like she having a speech impairment. Next, her head size is very small. Next, she is having a problems in movement and balance, ataxia, and also she is having a unique behavior like she keep on laughing, hyperactivity and shock attention span. Okay, in addition to that, she is also having a deletion of maternal 15 chromosome. Then ultimately, if it is a deletion of maternal 15 chromosome, then it is a Angelman syndrome. Next, Burkitt lymphoma occurred due to translocation of which chromosome? It is due to translocation of chromosome 8. Which of the following is not a vestigial organ in man? In vestigial organ in man, nail. If you take nictitating membrane, tail, vertebrae, vermifox, all are a vestigial organ, whereas nail is not a vestigial organ. Toxic substance responsible for chillness and high fever recurring every 3 to 4 days in malarial fever is hemozoin. This particular toxic substance is responsible for the chills and high fever. Multi-load C375. So it is nothing but it is some copper releasing intrauterine device. Okay, it is used for long-term contraception. Next, which group of members have a same chromosomal set as well as same protoplasm? It is secondary oocyte and ovum. Next, ZIFT refer to transfer of embryo into fetus. ZIFT means is nothing but zygote intrafallopian transfer. This is used when a female is having a blockage in her fallopian tubule. Scientist or doctor will prefer to go for ZIFT. So here the egg will be taken and it will be in vitro fertilized by a sperm, and then they will be placing them in the fallopian tubule of a same female by using a laparoscopic technique. And here they are asking transfer of embryo will be occurring in a 8 blastomia stage. Okay, the zygote should be in a 8 blastomia stage. All the following are component of flow cytometer except. So in flow cytometer, photomultitube will be present, laser will be present, flow chamber will be present, but synclination counter will not be present because synclination counter is used for measuring the ionizing radiation. Which of the following form is a left-handed helix? Ultimately, your ZDNA, whereas your BDNA, ADNA are in right-handed format. Next, restriction endonuclease are very important genetic engineering. They are used only for cutting purposes as well as they will be cutting only the double standard DNA. Next, ABO blood grouping in human beings cites example of both codominance as well as multiple allelism. Why it's called as multiple allelism? ABO blood group is controlled by a gene name called gene I, and gene I is having 3 alleles. See, if multiple allelism means 2 allele for a particular gene, is called as multiple allelism. Next, why it's called as codominance? Neither phenotype will be dominant. Okay, so in respect to codominant, 2 parent will be expressing the genome. Say if you take a plant which will be having a white color patch as well as red color patch. Okay, that's due to the expression of both the gene from both the parent. Okay, so next, BT cotton is a transgenic plant. It's not a hybrid plant or not a mutated plant. It is a transgenic plant in an area where DDT full form is dichloro diphenyl trichloroethane. It has been used extensively, and in that particular area the population of bird has been declined, and the reason is that many of the bird will be eggs will be laid, but the eggs will not be hatched. Okay, that's due to an effect of DDT. Next, if the mutant covers a triplet codon UGC to a UGA, if a mutation has converted triplet codon to UGC to a UGA, means it's called as nonsense mutation, because UGA is a stop codon, and if a stop codon is encountered, then particular transcription will be stopped. That's the reason why this kind of mutation is called as nonsense mutation. False about Tata box. Tata box has a TAT-AAA sequence. It aligns RNA polymer at a proper site. Next, it is generally made up of 7 to 8 base pair. Next, they are saying it lies 10 base pair upstream to start pair. No, it's not correct with respect to Tata box. Next, during the complete metabolism of glucose, number of ATP is formed. It is 36. Next, vitamin B12 deficiency can be easily diagnosed if the person has been excreting methyl malonite in his urine. Next, which enzyme participate both in citric acid cycle as well as electron transport chain? The enzyme involved in both the pathways is succinate dehydrogenate. Bilirubin in a serum can be measured by Van de Berg reaction. Okay, next, the positive Benedict test is not given by sucrose. Sucrose is negative for Benedict test, friends. Benedict test is generally used for identification of reducing sugar. Like this particular Benedict test is commonly used to identify the glucose level in urine, and friends. Why sucrose is negative for Benedict test means sucrose is the non-reducing sugar. As a result, it will not change the color to red. It will be blue in color. Next, Bordeaux mixture is the mixture is an inorganic fungicide used in agriculture. Next, two-dimensional gel electrophoresis is used to separate two different protein. Next, weight of a baby becomes 5 times the birth weight of age at 3 years. Next, which of the following laboratory values should a nurse expect to be elevated in a child who is having a pancreatitis? If the child is having pancreatitis, then he will be having a serum amylase level to be incorrect. Okay, so the doctor will be analyzing the value of the serum amylase level if a child is having a pancreatitis. Next, exclusive breastfeeding is recommended for about 6 months. Exclusive breastfeeding is nothing but for a 6-month feeding only breastfeed. He will not be allowed to take solid foods and all, friend. Only breastfeed is his only food. Okay, it's called as exclusive breastfeeding, that is recommended for 6 months. Next, RNA interference technology, which is also called as post-translation gene transmission, is also called as co-suppression or quelling in fungi, is conserved biological response of double-stranded RNA. Friends, see, in this RNA interference technology, there will be RNA that will be suppressing a gene expression by acting only on the double-stranded DNA, friends. Okay, so this RNAi technology is generally a regulatory mechanism, is most common eukaryotes. Okay. Next, the database like CAT or scopes are used to identify the structural family to which a protein belongs to. Next, if the two sequence will be said to a homozygous if they have diverged from a common ancestor. Next, what is the function of this chaperones? These chaperones are involved in protein folding. Next, the color of earthworm body is brown due to the presence of porphyrin. Next, which of the amino acid does not have an aromatic ring? The answer is proline. Proline is not made up of aromatic ring, whereas tryptophan, histidine, tyrosine are made up of aromatic ring, whereas this proline is made up of pyrroline ring. Next, first clinical application of gene therapy is being done in a 4-year-old. Okay, for what disease? The 4-year-old name is Ashanti D. Sylvia, friends. Okay, she was affected with the severe combined immunodeficiency disease. So she, during that particular disease, she lacked an enzyme called as adenosine deaminase deficiency. So first clinical application for gene therapy was done with a 4-year-old girl. The name of the 4-year-old girl name Ashanti D. Sylvia. She, for this adenosine deaminase deficiency disease. For computation methodology that tries to find a best matching between two molecules, that is a receptor and ligand, is called as molecular docking. Next, a dual resistant vector is PBR322, because in this vector there is it provides a dual resistant because due to the presence of two important restriction site. One is for ampicillin resistance and another is for tetracycline resistance. Next, radioactive decay of nuclide emits which of the following electromagnetic radiation? So during the radioactive decay, the nuclide will emit a gamma rays. Which of the following produce antibodies? So B lymphocyte will produce antibody. Preferring lined pores in target cells are developed by this NK cell. Okay, which type of immunity is developed after exposure to pathogen? It is natural active acquired immunity. Whereas example for this artificial active acquired immunity is your vaccination. Whereas example for natural passive acquired immunity is the transfer of the immunoglobulin immunoglobulins or antibody from a mother to a child through placenta. And what immunoglobulin has a capacity to cross placenta? It is IgG. Next example for this artificial passive immunity, the example is by injection, either by injection or transfusion. If antibody has been transferred from one patient to another patient, it is called as artificial active passive immunity. Next, the infectious stage of plasmodium that enters the human body. At what particular stage? During the sporozoite stage. Next, vaccine, again poliovirus is example of a active immunization. Okay, so poliovirus is example for this. Inactivated poliovirus will be incorporated. Chemical test that is used for diagnosis of typhoid will be viral test, and cell mediated immunity involved it involved class 1 MHC molecule, T helper cell, process antigen, but it does not involve secreted antibody. Next, the T lymphocytes in the lymph node are concentrated only on this paracortex adjacent to lymph follicle. So which of the following group is a hermaphrodite? It is earthworm, tapeworm, leek, sponges. All are hermaphrodite organism. So which of the following product of apiculture is used for cosmetic and polishes? It is wax. Next, Holstein and Brown Swiss and Jersey are well known for exotic breed of cattle. Like that, know about the exotic breed of goat, poultry and birds. Okay. Next, Sabine-Feldman test is used for the diagnosis of this toxoplasmosis. Aquatic larva of mosquito is called as ringler. Next, which of the following is a cold desert? This particular desert, it is located in South America. It is called as cold desert, whereas all other deserts are called as hot desert. Next, which of the following is a secondary air pollutant? Secondary air pollutant is ozone. Itai disease is associated with metal poisoning. It is associated with the cadmium metal poisoning. The scientific name of flower shown, it is Hibiscus rosa. Next, a host plant produces a toxin that is lethal to aphid feeding on leaf. Over a time, some aphid will become immune to that toxin. In response to that, host plant begin to produce a different toxin that is lethal to aphid. So in the time point, both the aphid are also evaluating and your host plants is also evaluating. So this is an example of co-evolution. Co-evolution is nothing but it is a reciprocal evolution change where two species will affect each other. So here first host plant produces a toxin that is lethal to aphid, and as a keep on natural evolution has been happening, what aphid done? Aphid has become an immune response, that is become immune to the particular toxin that are produced by host plant. Okay, so next thing is that host plant, what it produces? It produces a different toxin that is lethal to aphid. So both are getting benefited, both are evaluating at the same time point. Okay, which of the following induction of cell division activity and delay in senescence is caused by cytokine? Whereas gibberellin is responsible for seed germination, auxin is responsible for stem elongation, ethylene is responsible for fruit ripening. Which part of the plant is modified into pitcher in pitcher plant? It is your leaf. Natural insecticide obtained from neem tree is arachidin. Okay, which of the following insect is used for production of formic acid? It is red ant. The practice of pain killing of laboratory animal to relieve pain after experimentation is euthanasia. Euthanasia is nothing but it is with respect to attempted suicide. Friends, you have heard about this mercy killing and all, friends. It is that particular thing, friends. So the practice of painless killing of laboratory animal to relieve pain after experimentation is called this particular technique. Which animal is referred as solipeds? It is horse. Solipeds is nothing but animal with the unclothed hoof on foot. So next time if you come across horse, look on the foot of horse, friends. It will be unclothed hoof. Okay, which of the following is a mammal? It is whale. Rest, shark, trout, salmon or belong to a class called fishes. Only a whale is a mammal. So thank you, friends. Thanks for watching this video. Next video I will be discussing the questions for 2020 year. Thank you. Thanks for watching this video.